Hello, lovely ones. Today, I want to focus on my actual simplified hobbies. And specifically, I want to pay more and more attention to writing. Cozy up and join me as I'm trying to finish and work up through my novel. Important thing to say with draft 4 taking me very long because I'm going backwards. I'm splitting it back to scenes. So I'm still doing draft 4s normally, but I'm doing a separate file that I split into scenes, do what I did in the beginning, which is write out the characters and their overview, split it into scenes, make a color palette, and characters objects that are there, so it actually helps me to get the bird's view. In the planning section I did this where I was kind of having bird's view over everything. A lot of things changed and kind of got lost in the process, or became different, and characters became different. So now I'm just drawing back to do that bird's view to know that all the characters are true to their purpose, and all the objects, if they mentioned, actually has the purpose to reappear.
So in previous draft, I completely removed the ending. At the moment, I had no guide where I'm going with this particular story, and I'm just reworking parts that I have. But the further I walked around with this story for this vlog, I decided that it would be a great idea if we could work entire leftover to where the gap is. So really working entire part 5 together. It has been quite a tricky time for me. So if you notice, I haven't had a lot of vlogs because we have been very socially busy. We went to Paris, then we went to friend's wedding, went to Taylor Swift concert. It sounds fun and all, but actually after every outing, I always get feverish and sick. So I have been really sick this year, and things were just getting on top of me. So at the moment, I'm actually taking a break from work for about a month, if I'm lucky, because I still need to do job hunt with it, and trying to sort of rebalance myself, do the things that I care about, including well-being, including all the self-care, things around the house, studying bits as well. There's so many things, and it's so hard to find time for all of them. The busy, non-sustainable work actually took away a lot from my writing. I used to be the person who was able to come back home from very, very difficult work and be able to write, but at this point in time, I'm not able to do that anymore. So it always gets pushed to weekends, and then weekends have social activities. So it's really, really hard, and that's why I want to prioritize to work on this novel.
Oh my god. I worked on about 4 pages ish. I still have about 2.5 pages for this chapter alone, which again has a completely different dynamic. Another character comes into it basically, and it has another sort of set of problems. I'm gonna make a break, have a breakfast, and whatnot. I am very sort of impatient person. I can't sit on one thing very long. I had done editing before without a break from morning till night, but that's not something I want to do right now. So I'm gonna do a little break now, and whenever I have very important scenes, this usually helps me to clear my mind, and I hope that's something you consider doing as well. Whenever you do a big chapter or anything, just do a little break to refresh your mind before jumping into the next one. Anyway, let's have something for food. You can probably hear a washing machine going out in the background because most of this filming, I was assuming, will be in quiet anyway. In any sense, I had lunch and I walked on the treadmill for 15 minutes while watching another video vlog, bookish vlog, which is important. So the main concern was like I was feeling like stopping writing completely today because hungry, not happy, whatever. The real thing was I was getting cold because today is the perfect weather. I love this weather when it's very rainy. I love cozying up with a book and a blanket. I did a little bit of treadmill walk and my temperature is more optimal now. So I'm coming back to writing and I'm happy to resume writing.
So actually, we just recently, like in a few days, in the last few days, got treadmill as a way to possibly prioritize some of exercise, and because a lot of my hobbies and activities are very sedentary. I thought it would be great, and actually, I'm already finding that it incorporates with my routine and like breaks between chapters very well, and I can definitely see a writer's routine including it. I know it's very inefficient way, and probably most of you would say, "Oh, just go outside and have a walk outside." I'm actually a very, very socially anxious person, and I think it's just becoming more and more a problem for me. But hey, it's called anxiety. Deal with it. I'm also really tired to be apologetic about everything. In any sense, on the same day, I was actually getting cold again after some time of writing because I'm writing next to open window. And then I went to have some treadmill walk again, and I think that was just perfect because it makes your like head work, blood rushes back to your head, just your brain starts working better, and it definitely gets out all any sleepiness or laziness out of me. So I think it's definitely gonna be a part going forward.
I feel like this worth celebration because I finished part four and I wanted to just talk. First of all, I wanted to say about writing in parts is very handy. When I used to be very busy with my work and studying and whatnot, I used to write in parts as I was part of mentorship long ago. Long ago, not even of any projects that I ever discussed possibly. I was part of mentorship and we used to do about 10,000 words a month of editing. And I thought it was really good amount because I think it makes 30, 60 pages. I don't know. It makes a good chunk of pages. So usually working in parts worked for me that way because I was able to just delegate a little bit of time at the time and also be really focused on that small part. So breaking in chunks often does work for me better because I just see what I see in front of me. But that's why I really needed bird's view as well for this particular novel because I knew it's going to be super long. I needed a bit more structure and planning. Sorry for speaking so much about writing and craft of writing, which is very boring and a lot of speaking only. Let's make a break and I'll introduce myself a little bit better for those who do not come here often or are here on the channel first time. My name is Emil North, and I'm a writer, and I am published. And my novel came out about 2 months ago now, less than 2 months ago. Yeah, less than 2 months ago. And I should really be talking more about it to boost its presence, and I've not been doing that enough. I often write fantasy, middle grade to young adult. I wouldn't go anything older. I do have my book to show in case you haven't seen it yet or haven't ordered it yet. It's called Cookie in the Sprite Garden. This one was a middle grade, and this was very sweet. I do this. I write one very sweet and refreshing and cute vibes project, and one that is very angry and dark project at the same time. So I can sort of jump from one project to other. It depends how I'm feeling. I am currently also working on another middle grade, but it's not progressing so far because I'm really spending lots of time with this novel. So I don't think it's about progress, and I'm happy to stop because I remembered that this month I haven't really done my book club at Patreon. I haven't had that sort of discussion, so I'm gonna drop in the link and film a little sort of discussion or just opinion, let's say, more of the books I had. The month pick was Half a Soul. I know it had a lot of readers, and it is a folklore theme, which is funny. There is some folklore theme in my current book novel that I'm working on, And then I'm probably going to talk about Emily Wilde because I read them in similar time and annotated them. So I'm probably going to talk about them together because actually Emily Wilde's encyclopedia was preferable, and I think we are a little bit like sister novels to a degree of a genre. Now, not going into details a lot. Next month, I'm picking this, Blood in the Mist. I already read it, and this was what originally sparked some of the thoughts of the novel I'm writing currently because I thought, like, it's still a fairy magic, really, and but I really want to reread this. I was also considering to do a rereadathon in July. I'll give it another week to think about it. But as everything else in my life, it's gonna be the last minute announcements if it does consolidate. Because I have so many new good books to read. I don't know if I want to spend a lot of time rereading. But this is what will be on my priority of rereads. Hi, I've been typing away, and I haven't caught you up about today as it is a different day. So, yesterday I did about 6.6 thousand words, and I'm like, that's a good day, really. But then I realized for this vlog specifically, I would really want to finish part five. And so I started part four, like last chapter or two chapters, and then I'm just going into part five. Like since the morning I woke up, I was constantly working on it. And I only did two chapters, and I don't know what's wrong with me because it's like quite late into the day. It's 3 o'clock, and I'm only managed two chapters, which is normally is my normal amount for like regular working routine, which I'm not working currently, so I'm hoping a bit better. My biggest learning point actually was bridges between, for example, different scenes or emotional versus dialogue, sort of bridging different parts of the text, really. And I know I'm not quite working on the wordings and like beautifulness of the text at the moment, but mostly on just plot points and finishing the draft so I know the new ending and whatnot. But I think it's something I'm kind of correcting along the way. I'm not writing them very beautiful, but I'm sort of making some improvements on bridges at the same time. Originally, this was supposed to be Dark Academia, and I'm just like revisiting that eerie vibe of Dark Academia in my brain and thinking, why do I like Dark Academia? What part of it was interesting for me? And even without making it that genre, what can I borrow? That's what really I'm working on right now in my brain. But I'm very quickly gonna like clean this chapter and finish for today because I think my partner is coming home and we're probably gonna just rewind. Well, I'm not done for today apparently. I found this other video of lady who wrote book Laertes, which is Dark Academia book presenting points of Dark Academia. What makes Dark Academia Dark Academia? And I thought, like, let's do this exercise. I wanted this book originally to be Dark Academia, but I very quickly put that concept away. I just wrote about academia in general. And then as I describe this book to my friends, I'm like, it's very muted, dark gray colors. It's so much gray. And honestly, I was like, let's see that checkpoint list if it actually can be a dark academia. Because, first of all, setting is an academia. Check. Weather. It's a lot of weathering and vibes of weather. Sorry, ghosts. Anyway, so weathering, and one of the thing is that it's very nature based. It's there is a lot of descriptive. Even I built my own compendium of nature for this particular story because there are magical plants. In any sense, the weather is nice, and the change of weather is actually marking the passage of magic. So check. Now, detailing is cozy reader aesthetic and traditional dark academia symbols. What else I picked up? That language can be much more descriptive. Yep. So it does works all in academia. I don't think I leaned enough in the symbols. When I was doing my palettes, and this is one of the things, somewhere in this checklist was dark tones, internal melancholy. And when I was doing all the palettes, it was literally gray, 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 dark blue, and like brown. And I was like, actually, there's no point doing palettes. It just keeps carrying over because a lot of things happen. A lot of like, whenever it's the beginning is a bit more summery, but it's as it goes deeper in, it becomes very earthy colors, and it's either earthy colors or sculpture-y colors, so like stone colors, really, so gray and earthy colors, which is perfect for dark academia, apparently. Internal melancholy, yes and no. There's more internal anger in my story, so I wonder about that, because I had not have a good relationship with schools and universities. I think they left me like really jaded and like hurt. And I think you can almost see that in this because I'm just channeling the anger. Sounds terrible. Well, we build some anger through the life somewhere. Characters are morally gray. I often found family among students. And like a little bubble, internal bubble, which I did. There is like a secret club, let's say, the secret club of students that exists in my story. There are very positive characters that are like just such a refreshment of sunshine, but a lot of characters, you never know what they think. We can change alliances to a degree. So there's a lot of morally great characters. I did leave some freedom for some more flexible and positive characters who I break down through the story. Anyway, so that's the character arcs. Next one is a bohemian sort of free after school secret lifestyle. Um, there is mentions of it, but again, not leaned on. So I have a lot of mentions and a lot of potential to just intentionally drift that story that direction if I wanted to. However, my point on this was it is dark academia, but sorry, it is not dark academia specifically. I lost that interest. Early, it is academia story, but it is heavy fantasy. And I don't think it leans into a typical dark academia for that particular reason. Intense shared experience, yes, but it's not. You see, I think when dark academia is usually single death and everyone is like share the pain or whatever, or like my group is built on shared experience from their own on magic, but from their own little experiences. So we all have common view that joins them. Now, obsession to studies, investigating their own topics, memorizing, immersing on what we do, studying. Now, I wasn't very obsessed with studies in that degree, so I think this is a bit of a difficulty for me to glamorize it. Now, they are all different faculty students, so it definitely have the ways to work it. They all do have different interests and topic, let's say, but again, it is a potential. It has a potential, and I'm so like inspired by building that potential in the next draft. But at the same time, I'm doubtful if I will still keep the interest for so long. Everyone has secrets, and you never know everything about everyone. Let's say, so definitely is a thing in my story. Everyone has some sort of secret. It might not be terrible secret. It might be like, oh, I have this secret illegal hobby. you know Or it might be absolutely terrible that could ruin the entire dynamic. Or like, I know something about your past that you don't know, but I won't tell you, sort of thing. So, like, there's a lot of secret dynamic. There's a lot of also sharing secrets, not necessarily keeping them. Like, who can you really trust, sort of thing. And I wrote to myself a point: greater vocabulary would be nice. And I'm not lying. I didn't lean into wording yet, and it's absolutely shit to read right now. I would say so, but I'll be working on that next time. So unless I can really romanticize academia aspect, it could be very hard for me to do. If you can tell, my outfit change, we are on the day 3 of this vlog, and yesterday I got so inspired with dark academia concept that I basically made entire plan for vending. I made like points that have to be included in vending. So there's like 12 points or whatever, or scenes, let's say. Some of them borrow from the scenes that already existed, but a lot of them will be needed to be rewritten. So even the existing scenes, because the character is alive but would have been dead otherwise. So a lot of things would change. And anyway, it got me so inspired. Yesterday got me so inspired, but I couldn't stop writing. Had to like stop myself physically because I was very, very like feeling like I'm playing a really good game. Really, like, I'll eat later, I'll do this later. I just had to. And then I started becoming a bit too restless, and I just had to stop myself at that point, really. In either case, I finished part 5 and our vlog is successful. I finished part 5. We are at 91,000 words. Um, and I estimate that the part 6 could be another at least 10 to 15,000 words, which is not a bad number, but it just feels like I'm only working on beautifying the language in next draft, which probably gonna prolong it. Thank you for joining me and listening to me talk about writing. I am gonna do writing part 6 as part of my Patreon. I'm gonna submit a separate vlog there. I'm not gonna rush to do it right away because I think this is actually was very intense. 3 days in a row, specifically writing. I, as you know, I do like to do other hours as well. I'll see you next time. Bye.